meditation. So meditation is more like an umbrella words. Underneath of that, there's different type of techniques. And all those different type of meditation techniques actually can help us to train certain part of the brain and to bring different type of benefits in us. And the mindfulness actually is one of the techniques that train the brain to be more aware in our physical body, in our emotional state. And in the last 10 years, I think there's a huge increase in the science field. As the video mentioned, neuroscience these days are really booming. Everyone working in the soft skills training, we know your content is concurrent if you have a component of science in it. So if you do a search on the PubMed, which is a website for all the medical articles published over there, so in the last few years, you can see the numbers of the research related to mindfulness and meditation, particularly the benefits of that, increase significantly. And the majority of all those research actually is focusing on neuroplasticity. Anyone heard about the word of neuroplasticity? So what does that mean? What does that mean?
Is the original assumption that the brain is static and it will never grow but die, and neuroplasticity is that it's able to morph and to keep growing and to generate cells.
Exactly. So in the past, we believe when we reach 25 years old, your brain is at peak performance. But after that, everything goes downhill. But 10 or 15 years ago, the scientists find out, actually the brain keeps changing until the last day on the planet. So what do we do? What do we think? How do we interact with the outside world? How do we relate to others? How do we interact with our environment? Actually can change the structure, hence the function of the brain. So if the brain change unconsciously, is there any chance for us to reverse that? For example, can we do certain type of exercise to allow us to practice a certain part of the brain so we can get benefits of certain functions and the structures of the brain? So good news is we do have. So in next 10 minutes, hopefully I'm going to share with you some recent research regarding to the neuroscience and the mindfulness and the meditation benefits. The first one is the one mentioned in the video, default mode network. This is the research conducted in Yale. So what they do is they bring two groups of the people. One group of the people who haven't practiced meditation at all, so novice, and another group of the people, they have been practicing mindfulness meditation for about 10 years. So what the research did is they put these people through this brain scan called fMRI. This machine can detect the brain functions, which part of the brain regions activated when you are doing different type of activities. So the research looking into people's brain when they are at rest and also when they are doing meditation. So what they found out is when people are at rest, default mode network is very active in most of the people, except all those experienced meditators. And when they start to do meditations, and the brain scan shows default mode network actually get quiet a lot. So which means meditation, when you meditate, it does help you to move away from this self-referential thinking or rumination or mind wandering. And what the research also found out is for those group of people who have more than 10 years of meditation experience, the connections between the default mode network with the prefrontal cortex, which is the attention management network, is much more dense and much more thick. So which is suggesting actually for those people who have been practicing mindfulness meditation for a long period of time, they have much greater ability to avoid mind wandering. And they can notice when the mind wanders because they can manage their attention much better than the novice practice. And then another research is conducted in 2015, 2016, 2013 to looking into does meditation has any relationship to the stress? So what they did is they also bring these two group of people. One has no experience of meditation, another has 10 years experience of meditation, and they hook up with a machine, a thermal machine that every 10 seconds going to send a hot buzz to their forearm. And so at the same time, they monitor all the brain activities in those participants. So what they find out is with all these two group of people, they all report that when the hot buzz was on, there's a painful experience. They feel very pain on the forearm. But for those people who has no meditation experience in the past, they also report that before the hot buzz is on, because there's 10 seconds break time, they start to have this very strong anticipatory stress. They're thinking, the hot buzz is going to come. And also, after the hot buzz was on, they also have this lingering feeling of unpleasantness. So these all feelings actually relate to one brain region we call amygdala. We're going to talk a lot about amygdala. So amygdala is a brain structure sitting in the middle of the brain. The function of amygdala is just like in your home, in your kitchen, do you have a smoke detector? So amygdala just function like a smoke detector. So it's to protect you from the possible dangers, but amygdala can be very sensitive for whatever possible dangers it perceived to trigger you to have the fight-flight response to it. So when amygdala was triggered in those non-meditators, the amygdala activation is much more stronger than the experienced meditators. So which also suggests that for the people who has long-term practice, they probably can take things as it is when it comes, but also can let it go much easier because their amygdala functionality activity was much less activity than before and after, but they can also feel the pain when a hot buzz is on. So you might think, do I really can get any benefits if I haven't practiced mindfulness or meditation for over 10 years? So Silly also did a research last year, in 2017 I think, across 15 countries. They show the data, compare the data before people come into the program and after people come into the program. So with the 2-day workshops and the 28 days of practice, what they find out is there's in 2 areas, there's a significant improvement, which is the ability to take others' perspective. This is the first one. And the other is to pause before I reacting. So just imagine at your home, at your work, if yourself and your colleagues, that we can all take a break before we react to others, before we react to the situations, or if we can all understand other person's perspective, what kind of working place it is for you, and what kind of quality of the relationship we have. And I probably just missed one slide. And that actually is a meta-analysis to show to the people what mindfulness can really do to your brain. So this is a meta-analysis, which is academic words. What does that mean is people pull over a large amount of research paper and to find out what is in common of all those research results. So what they find out actually meditation can do to your brain in 3 ways. One is help you to understand how you can really manage your attention. So what we have already practiced, the short versions of the mindfulness is when your attention wanders, bring it back. So that actually is attentional training, and with lots of clients we work with in the workplace, we don't even bother to call this as a mindfulness practice. It's just to help you to manage your attention. And the second one is the emotional management regulation. We're going to have more sessions in the self-awareness and the self-management to show you how mindfulness can help you to really be aware of your emotions in your body and how can you regulate your emotional reactions in challenging situations. And the last category of the benefits is found in the self-awareness. So this is more like when we be more aware of the physiology part of our body, and be aware of the emotions that comes with it, and also the thoughts comes with that. So these are all the benefits of the meditation can do to you. But what I would love to add one more is, even though there's plenty of research related to mindfulness these days, particularly all the research will say this is based on neuroscience. But I would suggest when you're looking into all those research, be mindful, because mindfulness and neuroscience are still at a very early stage. So how do we set up the experiment can also have the results, different results leading to the outcomes of the experiment. So it's in a very early stage for us to say mindfulness is the key to cure all the disease on the planet. But it does provide you some benefits in terms of the self-awareness and the self-regulation.
Okay, so as Ella says that there's actually many different types of meditation. In mindfulness meditation, we focus on two particular skills. One is your ability to pay attention. And attention is the act or faculty of attending, especially by directing the mind to an object. The other skill that we practice in mindfulness meditation is meta-attention. So this is the attention of attention, the ability to know that your attention have wandered. So, just to illustrate meta-attention. So, you've got good eyesight. Can you see how many fingers I've got? 5? Yeah? Sure? You're paying attention, right? Yeah? You sure it's 5. Now, what happens if I go like this? What's my other hand doing?
Trying to distract us.
Yeah. You notice the other hand's kind of waving all over the place, distracting you, right? When you focus on my hand, this is your attention. It's on there. When you notice this thing going all around, that's your meta-attention. You notice that your attention has shifted from what you're focusing onto something else. And what that allows you is when you notice your attention wanders, you can bring your attention back. You have a choice because you know you're being distracted. Okay? And that's the two skills we practice. We're practicing not just your attention, but your ability to notice the distractions, what's going on. And the first little exercise we're going to practice is called focused attention meditation. So, clicker, okay? Okay, the first step in this simple practice is actually start by following your breath. Just noticing. There's no particular way. Your body actually knows how to breathe by itself because otherwise we'll be dead when we go to sleep. So your body knows how to breathe itself. Just follow it, watch it, observe it. Then you notice, oh, it's about break time. Distractions, right? Distractions come up. Our monkey mind comes up. And we get distracted. But we notice the distraction. So what's this? Noticing the distraction, what's that called? Meta-attention. Excellent. So meta-attention, you notice, then you reorient. You bring your attention back, and now you focus on your breath again. Okay, so a very simple exercise. We're going to just practice following your breath. If you get distracted, you notice the seat's uncomfortable or too cold or too hot. Notice the distraction. Reorient bring your attention back to your breath. And that's a skill for which you can practice. And when you get really good at it, what you'll find is that's supernatural focus. Because we all get distracted, but it's how fast can you recover from your distraction, right? Because you can't control the distraction, but you can get very good at coming back. And that's a really good skill to use, right? So, a little bit about posture. So many people think of meditation as you have to get in a lotus pose, sit on a rock or something, like a Jedi master, and you float in the air. That's one way to meditate, but you can be as simple as that. You can sit in your seat, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But what is important is that you're not falling asleep. Get in a position where you feel relaxed, but you're actually alert, you're present, you can focus. And that's important. Like think of yourself like a majestic mountain, like Mount Fuji. grounded, your base, but you're erect and like a tall pine tree. That's an image I like to imagine when I actually meditating. And spine straight, let your shoulder relax, head upright. And if you find yourself, slumping, just gently come back to it. Okay, it's okay. I do that. So, and you'll notice sometimes you feel tension. So that's what I recommend in terms of posture, and particularly in the office. If you get into a lotus pose, people might give you a look, what you're doing. Okay, so that's office-friendly meditation. And we're just going to do some practice. At the end of this session, I'm going to ring the bell. And that's when your invitation to bring your attention back to the room. As we practice, feel free to close your eyes if you feel safe. If you don't feel so safe, feel free to lower your gaze and just have a relaxed vision. Okay? You don't have to close your eyes. And hands could be wherever you feel is most comfortable. So we're going to do a short practice meditation. So just whenever you're ready, just gently lower your gaze or close your eyes and sit in a posture that helps you be relaxed but alert. So begin by connecting with your intention in doing this practice. You may want to develop healthier ways to relate to stress. Maybe you want to be more focused or a more skillful leader, or just to be your best for others. You may not have a clear intention. You may just be interested in learning more about meditation practice or about yourself. Now bring your attention to your breath. You may notice a movement of your tummy or chest, or the feeling of air passing the tip of your nose. A feeling in the throat, sensation in the body breathing. Whatever sensation or feeling is most vivid for you, or most clear for you, just allow your attention to rest there. For the rest of the practice, just think of this sensation of breathing as your anchor breath. Whenever your mind wanders, you can bring back to this anchor point, this feeling of breathing. So breathing in, breathing out. You may count each breath from 1 to 10. If you notice your mind wander, come back to 1. Can you be curious and kind with yourself, even as you bring your attention back to your breath? If the attention wanders, as soon as you notice, simply return to this awareness of breath, gently, kindly, allowing the breath to be like home for you, an anchor for awareness. So you may have thoughts coming, thoughts are going. There's no need to push away or chase the thought. If attention wanders, simply returning right here, right now. Now, let's just sit quietly for 2 minutes, making just the right amount of effort to follow the breath. Or just sit there being aware of whatever arises within you. invite you to gently open your eyes fully. Bring your awareness back to the room. If you need a stretch, feel free to stretch any way you like. So my invitation for you is just not to think of this practice is over, but let this presence that you develop through this practice carry with you throughout the rest of the day. Okay. Questions, comments? How did that feel? Yeah. Calming?
How do I stop falling asleep?
That's okay. Probably falling asleep just because last night you haven't had enough of sleep. That happens. You just go with your body. You don't have to really make an effort to say, I need to be awake. That's fine.
On that notion of effort, I think sometimes what you mentioned as well, sort of not making the practice effortful. Sometimes when we apply count to the breath as well, you can kind of show like I want to breathe in for 8 counts.
Yeah.
Breathing is easy, we do it so naturally, so not
Yeah.
making it too effortful as well.
Yeah.
And one shared a lovely practice that she has as well, where sometimes when a thought comes into her mind, she says she thanks the thought and sort of expresses gratitude for it. And it's flipping that access mindset around where sometimes you feel, oh no, my mind has wandered.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back. But oh no, thank you for the opportunity for me to practice focused
Yes.
attention and bring it back.
Exactly.
That's beautiful.
Exactly.
I think that's that kind of kindness to the thought, like to be thankful. And thank you. Yeah, lovely. Lovely. Any other comments? Questions? No?
Right, so with the breathing techniques, and basically anything works for you, it's okay, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be specific. You have to notice your breathing, or you can do like I do counting.
Yeah.
You're just focusing on the numbers or the image of the numbers.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. So for this exercise is what it's just noticing the breath. However that works for you. So you can count. You don't have to count. You can think of numbers. You can count sheep. You can whatever thing that helps you to kind of come back to your breath. And sometimes people find it helpful, like meditate, and I find it helpful to put a book on my tummy and on my bed, and I'm just noticing, oh, the book is going up and down. Yeah.
I mentioned to one because I have high-waisted jeans. I can notice it also.
Yeah.
Contraction and contraction
Yeah.
of my tummy.
Yeah. So you can count your tummy going up and down. That's one way.
So you just notice it. You don't kind of have deeper breaths than you normally would.
No, for this exercise, it's just simply notice, because this is an attention exercise. As Ella briefly mentioned, that there are different kind of meditation. Like if you look at martial arts or look at yoga, there's actually very specific ways to breathe. That's not what we're doing here. Here we're focusing on mindfulness, and that's the attention training. So you find that as you go, you gently just become deeper.
Okay.
But there's no.
Even the 3 breaths you practiced before is not like a deliberate make a deeper breath.
Yeah.
Just know.
Yeah, just be natural. Be natural. Okay, so I think we're way overdue for a break.